Hey YouTubers, Muskrat Jim here. In my last video, one of my subscribers, Emberado Smithing and Woodcraft, anyway, he saw a tree with some berries on it that I didn't talk about in my video. And the reason why I didn't talk about it was because I wasn't sure of its identity. Anyway, he thinks that it might have been a spice bush. Now, I'm not even sure we have those around here, but I've got my field guides with me and we're going to head out to that spot and try to positively identify the plant. So come along, won't you? There's some disturbed grass right near this flooded ditch here. Not sure if you can pick it up in the camera. See if I'm pointing at it. Anyway, we're just going to take a look, see what we can see. There might be some tracks there. Yeah, it's quite disturbed here. Got a lot of trees that have been gnawed off by beavers. Oh, and right here, looks like it's a great big moose track. And it's coming out of the creek. See, there's the creek. It's stepping out of the creek and coming up this way. Let's just go up there just a little bit and see what else we can see. Okay, there's a good specimen. Okay, right there is a hoof print of a moose. You can tell it's a moose because of the size of it. See, it's even bigger than the toe of my boot. Anyway, it's got the typical two halves, and then, let me just steady the camera here. It's got the two halves, and then there's a bit of a break in between, like a ridge. And then at the back here, you've got the two rounded parts of the hoof, the back part of the hoof. And there's more over here as well. This one's not as good a specimen because it's on some plants and things. But as you can see, there's the one toe, and then the divider, and then the other toe. So he must have walked in this way and then came out that other spot where we just were. Okay, so we're on the north side of the lake, and we have to get to the southern side of the lake, but we're going to take a bit of a diversion here. There seems to be a path right up through there, and I think the moose may have gone through that way. So we're just going to go that way towards the lake. Look what we found. A bunch of moose droppings. See, they're all little balls. They're soft balls. Just a big pile of them. That's typical for moose droppings right there. And he would have continued on, or she would have continued on that way over to the lake. So we're going to continue on too. I just have to make sure I don't step in that pile of moose droppings. quite a bit of beaver sign around here. You can see how the mud has been piled up on the banks because they're making it deeper, dredging it. And then there's lots of smaller branches that are just cut off, bitten off, chewed off. A lot of paths through here, either where the beavers are coming in and out or where animals are coming in to drink. And here's a well-worn trail. It's right over that way. Follow this a little bit. Oh yeah, it splits off that way. Can you see there's some trees cut off there? Right there you can see how it's been cut off, and there's teeth marks in it. So it's not like it's been cut off by a machete or anything. Get closer so you can see the teeth marks. And there's one there. Well, actually several right there. And then a few more up there. So yeah, lots of beaver sign. Let's continue to follow this trail. Some mushroom right there. Looks like a bolete. And we're back to the road. The maples are all changing. They're pretty much right at their peak of color right now. Even this oak is getting red leaves. Okay, so we're at the lake now. As you can see, it's a whole bunch of Canada geese swimming in there, and some ducks as well. They're swimming in that open spot where there isn't any lily pads. Let's see. I'm going to try to get a count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's a duck. 20. So there's 20 Canada geese there. Zoom in closer. The geese are starting to congregate before they fly south for the winter. Well, we're on the west side of the lake right now, and we're heading over to the south side. That's where the beaver dams are, and that's where the spicebush, or what looked to be like a spice bush, was. So we're gonna head over there now. Too much excitement for the ducks. But the geese are still content to stay here together. Anyway, we've got to make our way over to where the beaver lodge is. And it's right there. Got to walk through this heavy stuff. Oh, I just see a wasp's nest. I'm gonna get a little closer. There it is, and it's about 3 inches across. So it's really quite small. If I had to guess, I'd say it's pretty much deserted because it isn't a full-sized one. But I've been wrong before. Best not to disturb it. Oh yeah, you're probably wondering how high off the ground that is. Well, that's to be about 10 feet, maybe 12 feet high. Some people say, you know, if you find a wasp nest that's however high off the ground, if it's high, then you're in for a big winter, you know, lots of snow. And if it's low, you're in for a milder winter. But I don't know. I don't give a whole lot of faith into those things because I've seen them close to the ground and I've seen them way up high in trees, and every winter is pretty much the same here. Well, let's continue on. Oh, I just saw a wasp fly out of it, so I guess it's not deserted, so there you go. Wrong again. Anyway, let's continue on and see if we can find that spice bush. Yep, more moose sign. Moose tracks right here. It's one track on top of another one. This is probably more really close by. Some mushrooms. Not sure what they are. No, here's a better one right there. There's a stick in front of it though. But anyway, don't know what they are. Can hear the geese honking, but we're just a little bit too far into the woods here to see them. Here's that birch I pointed out in my last video. See where they had chewed off the bark there? Take a look at this. Look at that. Just chewed halfway through that. Amazing. And there's their path down to the creek. Well, it's not really a creek, it's more of a flooded ditch. Oh, here we are, back at that creek with those berries. Zoom in a bit. Okay, so we're going to get a real close look, and then we'll see what Peterson's field guide has to say. So this is Peterson's Field Guide to Edible Wild Plants of Eastern and Central North America. And this edition was written back in 1977. So I've had this book for quite a long time. Now Spicebush is this plant right here down on the bottom. This Common Spicebush. You can see there's lots of berries on there. Some of them in this illustration are ripe as being red, and then the other ones are green, being not ripe. And you can see the leaves right there. They're really quite smooth on their edges. The other thing about the spicebush is that the berries are, I don't know, clumped together quite a bit. Let's see what the description has to say. Okay, so it says Common Spicebush. An alternative name for the shrub is wild allspice. During the Revolutionary War, its fruit was employed as a substitute for allspice, and its twigs and leaves were brewed into a tea. And it says that it's available all year. Okay, so we're going to take a look at a more detailed description. A slender, spicy scented shrub with leaves 2 to 6 inches long, aromatic, thin, elliptic, toothless, and hairless, or nearly so. Bark smooth, twigs slim and brittle. Clusters of spicy scented yellowish flowers precede leaves in the spring. Fruit an oval, aromatic, reddish berry with a single oval seed. Height up to 12 feet. Where found? Damp wood, stream sides, etc. And it's found as far north as southwest Maine. Okay, so I'm probably 500 miles, maybe, from the northern point of where it says its range is. But then again, this was 40 years ago, and you know, with global warming and everything, the range would have changed a bit. I know in our river that we've noticed some sharks in the last, I don't know, last 5 or 10 years, and we'd never seen them before. Like the older people that used to live here and fish here, you know, they would never come across sharks, but now there's the occasional report of a shark. So the waters, well, as the seas get hotter, the range of the animals goes further north as well. So now that we've got a pretty good description here, let's take a look at the plant itself. Okay, so here we have it. As you can see, the stems are really quite slender, like it said, and it's got oval leaves. Now, if you take a close look at these leaves actually have teeth. See, they're very small teeth, but they are toothed. And these berries, they are quite small. They don't quite look like the clusters that were on the other diagram, but it says that it's highly aromatic. So let's take a sniff. Can't really smell anything. I'm just going to crush the leaf up a little bit here. No, I wouldn't say that's highly aromatic at all. Now I'm going to crush one of the berries, give it a smell. No, it really doesn't smell like anything. And as for seeds, this has several small seeds in a yellowish pulp. How many seeds are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I've counted 4 seeds in there. And I think the book said that there was only 1 oval seed inside it. But we'll double check. Okay, clusters of spicy scented yellowish flowers that are fruit and oval aromatic reddish berry with a single oval seed. Okay, so that settles it. It's definitely not Spicebush for a couple of reasons. One, it's not highly aromatic. Like, there really was no real smell to that plant, or the leaves, or the crushed berry. No real smell at all. And the other thing is that it had 4 small seeds in it, whereas the Spicebush berries have just a single oval seed. Oh, and the other thing is the leaves were slightly toothed. They weren't smooth. And we're also outside the range of the Spicebush. So, not sure what it is, but it's not a Spicebush. Originally this video was going to be called Spaghetti and Spicebush Tea, but as we've seen, there's no Spicebush here, so we'll have to stick to regular tea. Now, I'm not actually making spaghetti out here in the bush. I just brought some spaghetti, some leftover spaghetti, and I'm just going to reheat it in this pot after I boil my water for my tea. Well, the camera wasn't rolling when I made my tea, but hey, you've seen me make tea before. So now what we'll do is we'll put the spaghetti and the spaghetti sauce into the pot and heat that up a bit. Okay, so this is the spaghetti sauce. It's got meat, tomatoes, mushrooms, onions, a bunch of stuff. And this one's got cooked spaghetti in it. Just like a can of worms. Yeah, find my fork. I'm just going to stir that up a little bit. Turn on some heat. Keep that up a little bit longer. Going to put a little bit of cold water in my tea. Yeah, that's hot enough. So, I'm going to eat this and just relax here for a bit. It's quite nice. I didn't see any beavers, although I've kept my eyes open. The time is 4:45, so they start becoming active around 6, or at least that's what I experienced anyway. Whenever I go visit the beaver pond down north of my place. Anyway, they usually come out around supper time, and then you get a chance to see them. Like I said, I haven't seen any here yet. Looks pretty good. So bon appetit. So anyway, I'm going to sign off now, and if I happen to see a beaver pop up around here, I'll be sure to film it. So until next time, it's Muskrat Jim, signing out. For more muskrat survival videos, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe.